Welcome to Profiting Forex Trading. Glad to come your way again. This is a simple strategy that I would like to show you today. It is a winning strategy. If you master this very well, you do not need any other strategy. I am telling you this, that you can stop watching the other video that I'm going to make if you understand this very well. Stick to it and master it. I'm so sure of it. That's why I said after this you can stop watching other videos that I made. Just pick this particular strategy and master it. You do not need plenty strategy to make money or to be consistent. And this particular strategy will make you to be consistent in forex trading. Your account will grow on a daily basis, week in, week out, and this will make you to get out of a losing market on time and ride the winning trend to the end. So this is how to use this particular strategy. I have moving average. We are going to use moving averages, trend line, plus the other indicator I added. I have minimized that because you might not need it. It is not important. What you need is just these two moving averages and the trend line, and I added fractal to it, which is not necessary, but I did that so that if you don't know how to draw a trend line perfectly, fractal indicator will help you to do that. And here is it right now. Let me explain how this particular strategy works. I have on this chart, I draw this. I have this trend line, this white color that I drew. How to draw this trend line? Number one is to look for two lines together that there's no any obstruction in between. And sometimes you might have that obstruction, but majorly I do not want any obstruction in between the two candles that I want to use. And here at this point I have this particular the first one here, I have fractal here, but I drew on this one since I said I do not want obstruction in between the first and the second candle that I want to use. And on fractal I have another fractal on this one, so I joined the two lines together, and that's why after you join them together, just extend it to any length you want. And here is this. I drew this one before this breakout, and what you wait for is for the two moving average to cross in the direction of this moving average. So let me try and number it. So this was the first point that I used, and here on this one, this candle, and the second one is this. On this candle, and I joined the two lines together and extend it. So after I drew that line, what we wait for, or what I'm waiting for, is for the two moving average to cross in the direction of this trend line, because this broke the trend line at this particular point. The trend line was breached and broken on this candle, and once it breaks, the next thing you'll be waiting for is the moving average, this yellow and white moving average, to cross in the direction of the trend line, because this is a bullish trend line. This is a bullish trend line, and this is a bearish trend line. Let me try and draw a bearish trend line. So I have joined these two lines together here at this point. This is number 1 point here, and the second one was this. So I joined the two lines together and extend it. Once I extend that, I'm waiting. This is a bearish trend line. This is a bearish trend line. This is a bearish trend line. How I use it, I'm not using it that once it touch you can enter again. No, for this strategy I'm only using it is either it breaks my trend line, waiting for it to break my trend line. I'm not using it for continuation, the trend line that once this one touch, second touch, third touch, you can still enter in that direction. I do not use it for it. I only use it for a break for this market structure to break my trend line. Once it is broken, then the next thing I'm going to wait for is the two moving averages to cross in the direction of this trend line. This is a sell trend line, and I'm waiting for it to cross downward, the white to cross below the red moving average. And once you have that, the first and the second condition is met, please place your trade at this particular, after the close of this candle, place your trade here. Then your stop loss just 5 pips above the previous high, 5 pips above the previous high, and ride the trend. This is a simple way, very simple, that anyone can use it. It is not complex. This is how to draw the trend line. Number one rule: make sure you join two lines together. Fractal may help you to determine that particular point. Join it together and extend it, and wait for the break of that trend line by the candles. And once that condition is met, wait for the second condition, for the two moving averages to cross above, for white to cross above the red line for a buy, and for a sell for white moving average to cross below the red moving average. So what is the value for these moving averages? The value is this. The first one that I use, the value is 16, and that's the red color. 16, then MA period is exponential, shift is 0, and apply to close. Apply to close. So I do not need any level. Once you've done that, just click OK. And the second moving average I use is 4, shift 0, MA period is exponential, and apply to close. I use white color. So that's the two moving averages that I use. And the fractal tool, let me show you where you can get this particular indicator. Just click on this cross on your chart, or you go through this star and look for fractal. But normally I use this. Just look for moving average, but you are not going to have a moving average any of this here. It's just because I've used it separately, and that's why I have it at this particular point. Or moving average, just go on that trend, and you are going to see moving average. Just click on it and enter the value. Then the second one, again the fractal, just check under. This is for under trend. It is not under trend. This is how to get it. Just look under oscillator. Is it under oscillator? We do not see it there. Also under volume, it is not there. Then we have it under B Williams drop down. Under this icon, under this menu we have a fractal. This is fractals. Just click on it. You don't need any setting except you want to change the color. Once you do that, just click OK, and you will have everything on the chart, same thing as this. So let's do a little practice again. At this particular point, I have a fractal at this point, and I'm going to look for two lines to join together, and here is it. I have this and this to join, and I wait. The first condition was met here. The trend line was breached and broken at this particular point. So the next thing I will be waiting for condition is for the two moving average to cross, white to cross below the red moving average. Once it crosses, then I can place my trade at the next candle. Allow this candle to close, then the second candle, place your trade and stop loss 5 pips above the previous high for a sell. And then also you will draw once that one is forming, draw another trend line, combine the two lines together. So I have these two lines. This is point 1 and this is point number 2, point 1, point 2. Join it together, extend it. So at this point we have the trend line was broken and the moving average white cross above red. So at this point you can place your order and stop loss is either here or here and ride the trend. So this is how to use this particular strategy. Make sure you practice it. If you move back, you see where I've entered some trades and I drew my trend line earlier. So this is how to use this particular strategy. And there's another way of using it also, that you can use it to decide which direction the market is going to break out to, which direction it's going to break out to. So what you do is when you have a sideways market, it is not going in any direction, you can draw your parallel trend line also. Let me use this. Join these two lines together. I have this and this point. Just join them together and check on the bottom to draw the same thing. I have this point here. I have these 2 points here, and this one to look like a head and shoulder pattern. But I'm waiting for a break out of this range. This is a ranging market. I'm waiting for a break from this range, and at this point I have this broken at the top, and the moving average crossed above the white crossed above the red for a good ride. So you can use it that way also. So it is simple. You just make sure you practice practice it well on your demo account, then you will be good. Here I have another trend line for a bullish setup, and I'm waiting for the two moving average to cross, white to cross above the red, but it did not cross. So you are not going to enter any trade because condition number 2 was not met. This is condition number 1. The trend line was broken, but condition 2 is that the white must cross above the red moving average. If it is not so, then this trade is invalid. This setup is invalid. Then you look for another one. This setup is invalid. You cannot enter this particular trade. This setup, your setup is valid. So you draw another trend line also to see, and here you can draw another one at this point. We have this will look like a continuation trend. I have this particular point right now. Join the two lines together here, and this is on downward trend also. Once it break again, I can enter another trade and run with it. So this is how to use this particular strategy. And the last indicator I added, which is not necessary, you can use this particular strategy on MT4 or MT5. But if you are going to use on MT5, that's why I have explained without using the other indicator, because I do not have this indicator on MT5, so it is not necessary, but I just want to add to it. And what I use this particular indicator for is for continuation also. So for continuation also, if you do not know how to use the trend line, but I beg you, master how to use this particular strategy. And here I have we've confirmed and established that the trend is up, and assume that I came late to this trend, and the trend started before I open my laptop. I drew the trend line and I look out for, can I see enter this particular trend? Can I join the moving trade? Which sometimes is people said is difficult, but if you have a good strategy to use, you can still try. But at this point I'm not going to enter with higher lot size because I'm joining the trend already halfway. I'm going to use just small lot size to ride the trend. So I have this particular indicator that shows at the upper band it is bullish, so I can still try and enter this particular trade and use the stop loss below the system moving average below it, and take just small pips out of the trade, out of the trend. Just take small pips, and that is what I use it for. Here is another good example also. The right place to enter this particular trend is here. This particular trade is at this point, and this was in agreement, and I came late. I need looking for a place to enter. Then I can look for this indicator. It gave me another signal here to enter that by, so I can enter and ride the trend also. So this is how to use this particular strategy. It is simple and profitable, 100% profitable, but no system is 100% accurate. Sometimes you are going to hit your stop loss, so have that one in mind and make sure you follow proper money management. But I'm so sure you are going to have a lot of more winning trade than losing trade. That will make your accounts to increase on a daily or on a weekly basis. You can use it on any time frame you want, and if you want to scalp, it's actually I am using it on 1 minute here on this particular chart to scalp indices. And if you want to use on higher time frame, it's the same principle. Just follow the principle and use it well. Practice it on any pace, and you will be fine. And this is all about this particular strategy. Watch the video over and over again and make sure you practice. Until you practice it, you will not know how to use it. No matter the strategy or the principle behind any success, without working it out, that principle, it is not going to work. So without working out this strategy, it's not going to work. Please work it out, and see you on the top. Till I come your way again, I remain your fellow trader Joe, and bye for now.